Welcome to the Strategic Insight Global Research Update, the second part of our new Asia book, Building Bridges. As I touched on in the first video, we in the last couple of years interviewed a lot of distributors and institutions, and here in the last 6 to 10 months, primarily in Asia, across all markets, we met with them, we did a survey with them looking at what are the success criteria, what's most important to you. Clearly, highest on the list is the product space, because product ultimately is the indicator of what you sell to clients and the success factor for asset management companies. So product is very important. There are a couple of surprising things that we found in Asia that we're going to share with you here in this report. The first one is the product myth around innovation. In Asia, a lot of the flows are gathered through new funds. So what happens is distributors, because you have a large savings segment, and you have a sort of performance chasing element, there's no long-term small ticket savings around diversification for retirement. There's more, I have my savings in the bank and then I go betting, gambling, racing, and I'm chasing returns. Because of that, in order to attract those kind of assets, distributors are launching new products. And that has been the case in many Asian markets, in some less, in Australia obviously less, but in other markets this has been the primary driver of flows. However, we asked distributors what is important to you in the product space, and out of a list of maybe 8, 9, 10 key criteria, product innovation is second to last. It doesn't mean that fund innovation flows are going to go away, but it does mean that distributors are looking for something different, even if they're still creating new funds. What is that? So on aggregate, it is the clarity of your fund positioning, it is how you convey the investment process, and it is the appropriateness of products for the market at the current time. In other words, fund innovation is nice, you need to have it, you need to have flashy marketing, and we'll get to that in a second, but more important today, especially after the crisis, is not how flashy and new and spicy and sexy your product is. It is the positioning of your product clear? Is the message clear in a very complex environment when the regulators had to respond to accumulator scandals, mini-bond scandals, structured product issues, and the funds are much more now representative of a basic, simple, back to basics message in this vehicle. Fund positioning in that context is key. Also the investment process. So do you really stand for that kind of product? Is your investment process clear in terms of positioning the product? And then lastly, is it appropriate? So you as a brand, are you visible in that space? Are you trustworthy in that space? Do you have integrity in that space? Do you have consistency in that space? If yes, you have an appropriate product set for your investment process and for your funds. That is what distributors are looking for. So it's a little counterintuitive, because that balance is shifting. New funds will still generate a lot of flows on a month-to-month basis, but the success of blockbuster products with a track record in the last couple of years is showing that this balance is shifting, and that especially distributors, as they look for strategic partners, want something else. Now, that also ties in with brand and with marketing, which we discuss in detail with case studies in this report. Just 2 words on this. Marketing and brand ultimately is a holistic process. So it ties it together. It's the glue, if you will. You have the products, you have your service, you have your teams, but your brand, beyond name recognition, is your day-to-day interactions with the portfolio manager, with the client service team, with the materials they read, with the industry through media, with campaigns and with products. Everything together becomes the brand. They borrow the brand. The distributor borrows the brand. And there's only room really for 1 or 2 names in a certain area. So we looked at the obsession with brand in Asia, which is a global obsession as well. And we looked at how that is delivered, which is the marketing component. And the marketing component here, the key thing, becomes consistency of the message. You can have a great message, but because in Asia you have so much turnover on a branch level, on the front line, and within companies and with distributors, they're looking for getting through the bottlenecks. And in order to do that, We talked about that in our regular research updates when it comes to what investment boutiques are doing well. It's about proactive communication. Commentaries on the portfolio, on market changes, tailored information delivery, proactive delivery of that kind of information in a variety of forms, in a web and digital space that is developing very quickly. So, in summary, from a product perspective, some surprising findings in this book. Less about innovation, more about the process and the positioning. Marketing and brand, very important as the glue as you're trying to build a blockbuster, not only in Asia, but globally. Thank you for watching this update, and we'll see you soon.